Hi, go ahead.
Hi, this message is for Joseph and Daniel. So, since Klaus is always the evil person.
Well, come on.
Do you think that after season 2, will Klaus be able to be redeemed? Because everybody says Klaus is so evil he can't be redeemed. But we don't see Klaus cry.
I think I'd like to hope there's a chance for redemption, of redemption for him. I like the idea that the series ultimately could be that journey for him to redemption, and I think if there's any hope of getting there, he's going to need the help of his family and his adopted family as well. So yeah, I don't know, but I would like to hope. Yeah.
It's an interesting question. I mean, the question of redemption, because I like what Michael said earlier before about human beings being a source of food. So for us being the viewers, their standards of morality are far different. A friend of mine who's a big fan of the show once articulated it as like a group of humans who have basically been marooned on an island of really intelligent monkeys. It's sort of the equivalent of the originals on Earth, and it must be incredibly lonely, sort of, for them. And I don't really think of these guys in terms of sort of good and evil, but I do think they admire humanity. I do think they admire sort of aspects of humanity and sort of yearn for them, and some of them pursue that goodness as we sort of perceive it more vigorously than others. But I think they're just so tortured by this kind of alienation. Right?
Really smart people I work with. It's awesome.
That's great.
Next question.
This is the first time I've ever asked a question at a Comic-Con panel.
Make it a good one.
Make it a good one.
First of all, thanks to you guys for creating my favorite show on TV right now. You guys are awesome. It's just the coolest cast, probably at Comic-Con I've seen. And my question is for the whole panel. I want to know, what was your favorite moment from season 1?
Who wants?
Starts.
I say we start with Leah or Daniel.
Yeah, start.
With me?
Yes, go for it.
All right, sure.
Let's work our way.
I think my favorite moment was saying goodbye to my uncle for the last time, and saying the quote is, "This can't be the end."
I'm bombarded with memories now. I liked watching Klaus's farewell to his child, on that freeway. There was something so lonely and strange about it. I loved that. I even loved, weirdly enough, this sounds self-aggrandizing, but I even loved just a scene that I did with Cammy, like Elijah and Cammy, and sort of walking into the universe. I remember just being thrilled at seeing that the family had just come to town. I love so much of this series. Move on. It's just going to go forever.
I'll make mine quick. I'm not part of any of it, and that's really why I love it so much. But all the flashbacks, I'm so jealous when you guys get to kind of walk out of the makeup and hair trailers and stuff with wigs and kind of these amazing costumes. I mean, the production value on our show and the people that work in our costume department, our hair department, obviously she's got nominated for an Emmy, but they're so talented, and it really shows in those scenes, and they're so beautiful to watch, and even just when you see them being shot on the stages, they're really beautiful. So, can I be the flashback? That's impossible. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I mean, I don't know. I love the whole thing,
You have to pick one.
I can't pick one. I'll pick 2. Can I have 2?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, the one Daniel said, saying goodbye to my baby, was something that I feel like we earned through the whole season, and it was a real gift to have a scene like that. That was really, really great. And then the fight in episode 8, doing that fight, which was a huge piece of choreography and taking a day and a half to film it in the compound where, which ends with Marcel picking up the coin. That was one of my favourite things as well. I like the sort of stunt elements of it, and the fighting and everything. The action that we brought to the show. I think that was exciting to me, and I hope we kind of do that stuff.
My favorite personal moment was episode 11 after Davina dies, and then I rush back. Not that part.
Wait, what?
I'm getting to the part. I like that part. You did great. When they slit your throat and you just. But after that, when Marcel rushes back to the compound and then Klaus is there, and yeah, I watched it on YouTube. I love that clip, and I love seeing all the little comments. They're like, I cried my eyes out, because it like I was in it. It made me cry. But also a scene that you did in the very beginning. I think it was like episode 2 or 3, and you're having a conversation with your brother and sister, and you're talking, finally speaking your point, and you just had one single tear. And I was like, man,
Single man tear.
it was like Denzel. I was like, this man.
I'm like Denzel.
Yeah.
I'm taking that home with me.
Guaranteed.
My favorite to film was the scene right before I died. So I don't know, I know that didn't choke you up, but I thought it was a really beautiful moment between Marcel and Davina, and he's been like the only family that she's had, and her finally getting to say goodbye and being strong enough to do so. I thought that was it was a fun scene to film. I mean, walking up with the fire and the rain, it was really fun to film.
And the scene preceding that in the
container
where the rain, and you make a decision to just go, best scene in the episode.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. It looked really cool to film. Like I loved that part. And then also my favorite to watch, really, I loved watching Haley hold her baby for the first time.
I mean, Julie and Michael, I'll put the question to you as well, but is that like the ultimate Sophie's choice, to pick a scene from the show that you've written 22 episodes of?
Yeah, but if I can shout out something that Narducci wrote, because he's, Professor Narducci, is so brilliant, his voice is so poetic, and he wrote the line, and of course I will then butcher it, about when Rebecca says it to Klaus when they're finally had it out right before she leaves, and she says, we are the definition of cursed. And Narducci, you can help remind me what the prelude to that was, but it's like we're stuck with each other always and forever. We can never die, we can never split. That is truly the definition of curse. And I just thought that was so sad, and I loved it, so.
Michael, would you like the opportunity to pick something Julie wrote?
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful moment when Rebecca is confessing to Father Kieran that she is going to, or she has betrayed, her family by betraying Klaus at the top of episode 8. That was a script Julie and Declan wrote, which I just am so envious of. I want to cry. It was really, really great stuff. And, I think the journey that Rebecca went on in this season, from deciding to betray her brother, looking at Klaus in the eye and choosing to lie and say, I don't know what Marcel is planning against you, and then turning on her own brother and leading this revolt against Klaus, and then trying to get Davina to join against Klaus, and ultimately the revelation of what her past sins were by working with Marcel to bring in Michael, and then, finally having her confrontation with Klaus, and then deciding to leave and being...
You just brought it back to your line.
I did, yeah. Well, I was trying to do it...
You brought that right back to your line.
Sorry. But it was a good...
It was a really good line.
And Claire Holt, everybody, Claire Holt. That's what I really wanted to bring it back to, was Claire. She's awesome.
Forget all of us. No, Claire.
Well, you're here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your question. Next.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Hey, I'm TJ. I'm from Texas, and this is my first time asking a question at the Comic-Con panel too. First off, I just want to say all you guys are awesome, and that I'm rooting for Haley and Elijah. And my question's for Julie Pleck. How will, since Hope's, I guess you call her a trigrid, how will she affect the supernatural world and the Vampire Diaries and Mystic Falls?
Well, that's a really good question. You know, right now she's just a baby, and if Rebecca does her job right, she's a baby that's going to be born and live a perfectly human existence where her vampire side or her werewolf gene will never be triggered, or she'll never know to practice witchcraft. But people in those situations tend to not do their jobs very well, and so. As the theme of the season is, child rearing is complicated. So I think exploring what hope means to the whole supernatural universe and what curse is sort of put upon her as a result of what she is actually going to be part of the season and tie into a lot of the agendas of our villains. And so as for what it does to Mystic Falls, I don't know how to think about that one. Hopefully nothing that we haven't thought of already.
If you guys can make Baby Hope kill someone and then trigger the werewolf curse, that will be the coolest thing that's ever happened. She's just like lying on the ground and someone trips over her and falls down. Put it out there.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Next question.
Hi, this is for Phoebe. Hi.
Hi.
What inspiration did you draw on for this season in becoming a hybrid?
That's a good question as well. I guess, when we find Haley, it's 3 months after the finale, and we kind of find Haley, and she's just kind of a mess right now. She's very lost, and she doesn't really know what her intention is right now. She doesn't really know what she's fighting for, if anything's worth fighting for at all. And she's kind of a bit of like on a kamikaze mission. She's really got nothing to lose. But I mean, I don't even know if this is answering your question or not, but I guess it's been kind of fun to kind of work with these guys, even just as an actress, because, I came on the show as a werewolf and I never got to do any of the kind of vamp hybrid stuff, so just like learning the technical part of it. Like Daniel and I did this scene where it actually got cut from the finale, and I had to, I'm so embarrassed, I had to bite his neck, and I didn't know how to do it. I don't know why I didn't ask anyone. I just kind of, I don't know how to do it. I watched this show for a while, and then I went to do it, and I made sound effects.
I do that.
You do?
I do that.
Okay.
She made, and interestingly enough, it was an ice cream truck. It was the sound effect she made. So incorrect. So very incorrect.
That was muted. So that kind of the technical side of learning how to actually act, and also learning from what they do on the Vampire Diaries, and it's just learning that kind of stuff's been fun. But I'm excited to be a hybrid now. It's going to be good.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leticia, and this is for the cast members that have been on the Vampire Diaries set. What do you like more about being on the original set?
The catering. The food is far better on our set. We have more selection of entrees, so it's been a huge plus for me, hence less amount of shirtless scenes on our show.
More shirtless scenes?
No, come on, we have huge plates of food. Give us a break.
More answers? Is that
More
food.
Hello.
I don't really know who to ask this question to. I mean, it's toward Klaus and Caroline. I just wanted to know if there's gonna be any, we were talking about crossovers earlier, so I was curious if there was gonna be any more Caroline and Klaus.
Sweetheart, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh look, we're out of time. Oh no.
You kind of look like Candace.
No, I was actually answering this question earlier, and I got a lot of nods. People were like, oh, we agree with you, and secretly they're probably like, screw you, you're horrible. But what I was saying is, in order for Caroline to enter the New Orleans universe and engage with Klaus at any level, it's got to be a fit, an organic fit. And that can take some time before the world of the originals will accept that, you know, make that fit. And so it could be, it could not be, it could be later. You know, it's like we have to wait for an organic opportunity to bring these two together if we do, because, you know, they do have unfinished business. But right now there is no place for Caroline in Klaus's community at the moment because of what he's doing.
You're my hero.
Thank you for your question. Next.
Hi, my name's Jillian. My question's for Phoebe. I just wanted to know, after doing H2O, what drew you to play Haley?
What drew me to play Haley? I mean, I was very lucky that I was kind of introduced to this world by Kevin Williamson on Secret Circle, and I know we kind of felt like the prom king of queen of Comic-Con in Julie and Kevin here, so I feel very, very lucky. I've been on kind of 2 shows, but you know, I was kind of introduced to the world by Kevin, and then, you know, the opportunity to be a part of Vampire Diaries came up kind of straight away, and I really just wanted to be part of the world. I kind of was happy to really play any character, and you know, I was so fortunate that the character that I got to play was such an interesting and complicated and dynamic kind of character, and a character that's kind of evolved over Vampire Diaries, over the first season, and then especially when we find Haley at the beginning of the 2nd season. But thank you for watching H2O. It's fun to play like a non-naive little 16-year-old girl, and no one believes that I played like a very innocent little mermaid girl. You know, it's 9 years ago. But you know, it's fun. I feel like I'm like drawn to all these supernatural characters, and they're a lot more fun to play, I think, than, you know, just boring old humans. Sorry, Leah. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Hi, this is for Joseph. I was wondering, how does Klaus change after his baby is taken away? I know it's hard for Klaus. So.
Well, thank you for understanding. You know, I believe that Hope was his hope. She was hope for him to be a better man, hybrid creature. You know, she was hope for him for redemption, and her being taken away takes him to a very, very dark place. Unsurprisingly, he's as we mentioned, he's locked himself away and spent a lot of time planning the brutal, bloody murders of anyone who was involved in separating him from his daughter. So I think we can safely say he's in a worse place than he was when she was around.
Thank you for your question.
This is going to be our last question.
Cool costume. Look at that.
Hi, I'm Jody. My question is, the Klaus character in the books The Vampire Diaries is greatly different than what is in the show. How do you feel about playing the character so differently than what is in the book?
Well, in the book, he's only in the 4th book, and he's in it for a sort of limited time, but he's built up to be this, you know, this fearsome force, which is what he was initially when he came to Vampire Diaries, the show. I mean, we had to kind of develop him further because there just wasn't as much source material about in the book. And one of the things that I was excited about was the fact that he's a hybrid, and then the whole thing about the original family came out, which was extremely exciting for me. But one of the things I really wanted to take from the book was after he killed Vicky in the book, and I think he left her dead on the bed, and he wrote "Good night, sweetheart" on the mirror in blood, and he left the record playing. That's where that's where the sweetheart came from. You know, calling women sweetheart and using a term of affection in a very creepy way. So that was a nod to the fans of the book, I think. But for me, it's been exciting to develop it further and hopefully kind of still stay faithful to the source material. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your questions. Don't forget to at 8 p.m. on the CW. Give it up for the cast and crew of the original.
If you want to watch another awesome awesome interview, click right here to check out our interview with Joseph Morgan from the originals, and be sure to subscribe.